Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to your English class. Do you remember students? What did we do in the last class? Yes, comprehension, and I gave you some homework. Have you all done that? Yes, then let's tally the question answers and fill in the blanks. Now, these are the answers of comprehension number 1, Benny. Now check these answers with your work if you have done them correctly or not. Now let's start our today's English lesson. And we are going to do another comprehension. What are we going to do? Yes, comprehension. And how do we say it? Comprehension. Repeat it with me. Comprehension. My dear students, do you remember what is a comprehension? Yes, a comprehension passage is all about reading a paragraph and answering the questions related to it. Repeat it with me. Yes, it is all about reading a paragraph and answering the questions related to it. So, the paragraph we are going to read today is about... No, I'm not going to tell you that. Let's find out first what are we going to read today. And for that, I will give you some hints. I am thinking about an insect, and it is a type of insect with antennae on its head. It might be found in a hill and can be fire or red. And it's also an insect that lives in a colony. Can you guess which insect is this? Keep thinking, keep thinking. Yes, students, you guessed it right. It is an ant. And today we are going to read all about ants. Do you want to learn about ants? Yes, then let's go to the comprehension passage in your workbooks on page number 76. But before reading the paragraph, let's learn some important words and their meanings. The first is amazing. It means wonderful, and wonderful means when there is something you really like or something that really attracts you. Second, creatures. It means living things. Can you tell me what are living things? Yes, all the things that are alive. People, animals, insects, and plants. They all are living things. Third, nectar. It means sweet juice of flowers, and insects love to drink it. Fourth, tunnel. It means underpass or path, ants take to go to other rooms. Last, colony. A group of living things of the same kind that live together in a place is called a colony. Now, dear students, keep these words and their meanings in your mind and pencils in your hand. We are about to start our reading. Let's start our reading and learn about ants' life in detail. The title of our comprehension is All About Ants. Ants are amazing creatures. Students, do you remember the meaning of amazing and creatures? Yes, amazing means wonderful and creatures means living things. So, it makes ants wonderful living things. Say hi to this wonderful living thing. Hi, ant. They live in groups called colonies. How do they live, students? Yes, in groups. And what are their groups called? Yes, colonies. Do you remember? I already have told you its meaning. Yes, it means a group of living things of the same kind that live together in a place. And here on your screen, you can see a picture of an ant colony. And you can see that all ants are living together in this place, and they are living in a group as one big family. Ants can carry 20 times their own body weight. That's like you lifting a car. Have you ever seen an ant carrying the tiny cube of sugar or food items? Yes, and for us, they are tiny pieces, but they are really big pieces for one tiny ant to carry, isn't it? But ants are very strong. They can carry something that's up to 20 times heavier than they are. Wow! Isn't it amazing? That would be like us picking up a heavy car. But if something is too heavy, even for an ant, a bunch of other ants will come and help it out. As we have talked about food, let's see what do ants eat and drink. They eat sugary liquids like nectar and other sweets, as well as meat, seeds and plants. Ants also drink water. Students, can you recall the meaning of nectar? Yes, it means sweet juice of flowers, and ants love to drink it. And they also like to eat other sweets as honey, and most ants are omnivores. Can you tell me what are omnivores? Yes, these are the animals that eat both plants and animals, and it means that they'll eat plants, other animals and seeds. Do you know, students, how do they find food? You must be thinking that an ant uses its nose to smell the food and then go look for it like us, but instead it uses its antennas, and an ant's antennas are actually better at smelling than a human's nose. They can easily smell things that we cannot smell at all. Do you know that they feel thirsty too? Yes, and for that they drink water. Now, this tiny ant is looking for food. During this time, let's read some other facts about ants. There are 3 types of ants: the queen, male and worker ants. In every anthill, there live 3 types of ants. There's one big ant called the queen. Then there are the male ants, and rest of the ants are called worker ants. And the different types of ants that live in an anthill have different jobs. Let's find out their jobs. Queen ant lays eggs, and worker ants build anthills, find food and take care of the queen ant. So, the queen ant that lives in an anthill only lays eggs. Do you know what is an anthill? If you have ever seen a little pile of sand like this with ants crawling all over it, that's an anthill. And whose job is to build an anthill? Yes, the worker ants, and they do have to work really hard. They need to find food for all of the ants that live in an anthill, and they also have to take care of the queen ant. They also build tunnels for their colonies to connect their rooms. Students, have you ever tried to find out what is inside this anthill? Now this shows the inside of an anthill. Can you see different parts where the ants are moving from here and there? Yes, these are called tunnels. And these tunnels help ants in the same way as the roads help us. We use roads to go from one place to another, and in the same way, ants use these tunnels to connect their rooms and to go from their homes to find food and to come back. So students, we all have houses, and in our houses we have different rooms, and we keep different things there like our furniture, clothes, and we sleep there. So the ants also have rooms in their anthills. Now let's see what are the rooms in ants colony used for. The rooms are used to store food, rest, and take care of young ants. So the ants use their rooms for the storage of food, for taking rest, and they take care of young ants there. And now students, on your screen you can see this is inside of an anthill, and they have rooms too. As you can see, the queen is resting in its room and the worker ant is taking care of the eggs that are not hatched yet. Oh, on your screen, you can see a dead queen ant. Now let's see what happens when a queen ant dies. When a queen ant dies, the whole colony usually dies within a few months. Have you ever wondered why this happens? Because since no eggs are laid after the queen dies, the workers live only their lives, and once the last worker dies, the whole colony finishes. So now students, let's have a quick recap of the passage that we have just read with 5-finger retell method, and in that we are going to start with our thumb. And it says main idea. Do you remember students the meaning of main idea that I have told you in the last class? Yes, it means the point about which the passage has been written. So, what is the main idea of this passage? Yes, it's about an ant's life. Then we have discussed about their home, that is an anthill. And how do they live? Yes, in groups, and those groups are called colonies. Their eating habits, that they eat all sorts of things like plants, meat, nectar, honey, and they drink water too. And their types. How many types of ants are there? Yes, 3 types. The queen, male, and the worker ant. And during the reading of the paragraph, we have found some interesting facts too. That they drink water and can lift heavy weights as we humans can lift a heavy car. Now let's answer a few questions based on the passage we have just read. Moving towards our questions, the first is, name 3 types of ants. Second, what do ants eat? Third, why do worker ants build tunnels? Fourth, what happens to the whole colony when a queen ant dies? Fifth, circle the word in the passage which tells how ants live. Now here, my dear students, I am only going to do the first one for you, and the question says, name 3 types of ants. Do you remember the name of these ants? Yes, the answer here is 3 types of ants are queen, male, and worker. And now for the rest of the questions and their answers, you have to go back to the passage and do it yourself. So now students, on the basis of our reading, you have to tell whether the following statements are true or false, and you have to write T for true and F for false statements. The first is, the queen finds her own food. Second, worker ants build anthills. Third, queen ant takes care of baby ants. Now consider these question answers and true false as your home activity, and you have to do this on your workbooks. Now students, these are the answers of comprehension number 3, all about ants. Now check these answers with your work if you have done them correctly or not. So today we have learned about ants, and I hope it was easy for you. Now you know about a bug's life.